everyone. So I know we have a snow day today, but I don't want to fall behind in the class and what we have to do, so I need you to do something for me. So, um, it's a small assignment, nothing very big. It shouldn't take up too much of your time, I promise. And then you can go back to enjoying your day off. Um, but when you go into Brightspace, into our class, and you click on assignment sheets, you will see at the top two short writing prompts, um, short writing prompt 1 and prompt 2. And what I'm going to have you do is I'm not going to have you write the short writing yet. All I want you to do for each of these is to write a brainstormed list of 10 topics that you could do for short writing prompt 1 and 10 topics you could do for short writing prompt 2, so that when you come in on Wednesday, we can start writing. And I can help you through your list to try to determine which is going to be the best for each prompt, and then you can get started on writing the short prompts. So I'll just go over them fairly quickly. Short writing prompt 1 is exploring cause and effect. So I'll have you write, for this, it's just 250 words. That's about a page, even less, really. Typed, double-spaced, 12-point Times New Roman font, MLA format, if you know what that is. If you don't, we'll go over it on Wednesday. We are going to take one of these prompts and make it into a longer essay. So this is sort of like your first free write for an essay. So you are going to want to pick stuff that you can write more about than just 250 words. But, for the short writing assignments, it's just going to be 250 words. Hopefully that makes sense. So prompt 1 is exploring cause and effect. And cause and effect is all about asking why. So for this short writing prompt, you'll ask a why question about yourself and attempt to answer it. So things like, why am I interested in such and such? Or why do I do something that I do? Or why do I wear something that I wear? Or why do I like something that I like? But these are just generalized things to get you started. You're not necessarily asking, why am I interested in the things that I'm interested in? If you start talking about all of the things that you're interested in, then you're going too broad for this. You want to pick one thing that you're interested in and go into why you're interested in that. So you want to ask questions that are more specific to yourself. So these are topics that I might write about. Why do I almost always wear skirts? Why do I love pearls? Why do I enjoy bad movies? Why do I volunteer at a thrift shop? These are specific to me, and these are the kinds of questions that you want to ask, okay? So if you're having trouble, so for the brainstorm, all I need you to do is, why do I, and fill in the blank, okay? So 10 items, why do I this? So that's your sentence starter for the brainstorm. If you cannot think of an answer beyond because reasons or because I just do, then it's not a good topic. I want you to dig a little bit beneath the surface for something more insightful. But for your brainstorm, just try to think of as many things as you can, okay? I know that 10 is a lot, so some of them will be duds, and that's okay. All right? As long as there's a pearl in there somewhere, we can work with that. So here is the example that I wrote for you guys, and it is on my first question here: why do I almost always wear skirts? So for the last 10 years or so, I've almost never worn pants. I wear pants to do things like exercise or garden or go out to the grocery store. But other than that, I wear skirts always. Even when I'm sitting at home, I like to wear skirts. So some people might assume that it's religious, but I'm not part of a religion that only allows skirts. It's also not because I think women should wear skirts. I would never presume to tell another woman, or anyone for that matter, what to wear. That's their business, and while I might judge a person who shows up to the store in pajamas, I would never say anything to them. Besides, I'm a feminist. I don't think women should have to conform to any gender norms if they don't want to, but the simple fact is that I find skirts more comfortable. I mean, obviously I find them more physically comfortable, yes, but I just feel more comfortable in my own skin when I wear a skirt. I like how feminine they are, being a very feminine person. I'm on the more feminine side of the spectrum, so, it makes me feel confident. I have less body issues because skirts have more sort of weight flexibility since they're less constricting. I feel sassy and professional and girly, which is exactly how I want to feel. And I love wearing skirts, and I hate wearing pants, which never fit right, especially since I'm short and curvy, making me feel like there's something wrong with my body. So with skirts, I feel exactly how I want to feel without shame or guilt. I feel like me. Okay? So it's the answer to one question, thought all the way through. You can start like I did by dispelling any misconceptions that you think people might have about why you do something, and then get into the real reasons why. But I want you to think of, like, what's the core reason? Okay, so the core reason here is I wear skirts because they make me feel more comfortable. And I define that in several different ways and move through all those different ways. But ultimately, that's the core. That's what we're going to call the claim. Okay, so you need one core reason that you then delve into. Okay, for this, not several reasons. If you have several reasons, we're not doing this correctly. So that's prompt 1, and let me know if you have any questions about that. And then prompt 2 is the same length and the same concept. We're going to turn this into a longer essay later, but for the short writing prompt, you only need 250 words. And for Wednesday, you only need a list of 10 topics that you could do for this prompt. So I need 10 topics for the other prompt and 10 topics for this prompt. Basically, for this short writing project, you will choose a concept and try to redefine it in a way that others would not define it. In other words, you cannot use the commonly used definition, and you definitely cannot use a dictionary or Google to define it, okay? So how do you do that? You need to redefine the concept in a way that uses your personal experiences. Don't do research for this. If you do research, it defeats the purpose of redefinition. What does the concept mean for you, given your experience? And be prepared to answer if I ask, to tell me how your definition differs from the common definition. Okay. So if it's the exact same as the common definition, even if you're using your personal experiences to back it up and that's how it's unique, that's really not what I'm asking for here. I'm asking you to redefine it in a way that's new and different than the common definition. Okay? So here's my example. When I was in college, feminism struck me as women trying to be like men. And so when asked if I was a feminist, I said no, because I really like being a woman and being feminine. What I didn't understand is that I was stereotyping feminists, meaning that I, like others, was assuming that all feminists are alike, which they are not. According to the stereotype, feminists hate men but want to be men, and they want women to run the world because they can do better than men. Oh, and they're, probably also a lesbian because, misogyny. Anyway, what I came to realize over time, however, is that while some feminists do fit certain aspects of that stereotype, most feminists don't fit that stereotype at all. The only tenet of feminism that is shared by all feminists is that people shouldn't be treated differently because of their gender. How we enact that core belief is where feminists differ. I'm an intersectional feminist, which means that I think that gender is only one identity in a complex network of identities that combine to form a full human. I'm a cisgendered woman on the feminine side of the spectrum. I'm also heterosexual, white, petite, fully abled, unless you count my anxiety. A teacher, a wife, an animal lover, a reader, etc. These identities are inextricable from each other, and therefore I will face different kinds of gender issues than people with different identities. The issues I face as a woman are different than those faced by a lesbian woman, or a black woman, or a woman who's tall, or a woman who's single, or a woman who has a job outside of academia. So intersectional feminism proposes that we should be dealing with the issues of all identities, which is why it appeals to me, and it also showed me that not everyone has to be a feminist in the same way, and we can't act like feminism is all one ideology. It's different for everyone. So others might be focused on different areas or aspects of feminism or on different ways of creating change than the ones I focus on. I may disagree with their focus and their methods, but as long as we all share the same core tenet, then we can all call ourselves feminists despite that disagreement. So in this example, I'm redefining feminism, and I'm using my personal experience as a way of talking about that redefinition. How is it different from the common definition of feminism? Well, I'm redefining it to say that, feminism is something that is practiced and thought of differently among the people who are subscribing to the ideology. Okay, so it's different, that it's based on one core belief, which is a little bit the common definition, but then that it's something that is enacted differently depending on who you are. So, and that is different than the way that people normally conceptualize it, because normally they think of it as one thing, right? That is practiced in one way. So, there you go. So that's prompt 2. So again, all I need you to do is come up with a list of 10 topics you could do for prompt 1 and 10 topics you could do for prompt 2. And then on Wednesday, what we're going to do is in class, we're going to write both prompts. We're going to write to both prompts. And so it's going to be really, really helpful to have that brainstormed list all ready to go on Wednesday when we meet. I also want to remind you to make sure to read chapter 1 of the textbook, They Say, I Say, and do one of the 3 exercises that's listed at the end of the chapter. Okay, it's a short read, I promise. And then do the exercises if you haven't done so already. All right. Email me if you have any questions. I will be available by email. You can also send me a message on Remind if you have a quick question. I'm happy to answer those on Remind as well. Okay? I hope you all have a wonderful snow day, and I will hopefully see you on Wednesday. Thanks, guys.